Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, go to nativeblackancestry.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smash the like button on the way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to check out the website nativeblackancestry.com if you need assistance with genealogy research or would like access to a digital archive I've personally curated with over 600 documents, family photos, Black Indian obituaries, ex-slave interviews, you name it. But guys, tonight we're going to listen to the elders. Tonight, I ask you, Grandma said we Indian, school said we African. Who lied? There's a lot of folks out there that are trying to convince us that our grandparents lied to us, that our uncles and our aunties, for some reason, just wanted to lie about being indigenous. I don't know what benefit they would gain from that. If anything, that's going against the grain. If anything, they would be ostracized. They would face hardship. They would face oppression for claiming to be indigenous. So why would they pass down this oral tradition unless it was true? You know, in the Black community, some of our elders have a saying. They say, I'm too old to exaggerate or lie. So in that same vein, I ask you, do you really think your grandparents lied to you? Or do you think that the school system that was designed by our oppressor to miseducate our youth and send them to some kind of wage-based slavery system? I mean, do y'all really think that the school was telling us the truth? I mean, they told us Christopher Columbus was a hero until last week, right? As far as history is concerned, it was basically last week when they said, oh, you know what? Columbus wasn't such a good guy after all, right? It was just yesterday we found out the founding fathers were all slave-holding pieces of shit, right? I mean, guys, the school system, really? Now, I'm a little biased. I'm going to go by the elders. I'm going to go by the oral history, but let's just hear what some elders have to say, and you guys can come to your own conclusion. Let's get into it. This first elder, she's a YouTuber. Her channel is called Anita Talks History and Genealogy. Let's check out what she has to say.
My maternal grandfather, my paternal grandfather was born in Orangeburg, South Carolina, dark-skinned man. But when my brother went and took his DNA, it came back that he was indigenous to Colombia, South America. His people were slaves in South Carolina. But he's native to the Americas. They're native to the Americas, and they're not light-skinned. They weren't mixed. And my grandmother was a Bonaparte. Her people came here after Napoleon was beat, during the Haitian Revolution. They were either came or were brought here from Haiti. They were slaves in South Carolina. And they were called colored. They weren't called African. They were called colored. In records that the Europeans left themselves. And my native ancestors in Virginia and Pennsylvania, they were redesignated, racially redesignated as mulatto, colored, Negro, or Black. That is what the colonizers did after they came here, killed and subjugated the natives they found, and also intermixed with them. That's why there's light-skinned ones. And then they redesignated them and said that they were mulatto or colored, Negro, Black.
Come on, guys, we have to listen to the elders. While the world is trying to tell us one thing, while everyone's trying to keep us away from our Aboriginal ties here in the Americas, our elders are all saying the same thing. Guys, I'm a professional genealogist. I meet with dozens of Black Americans every week, and I ask them the same thing at the beginning of our meeting. What motivated you to start looking into your family's heritage? And they all say the same thing. My grandma, my uncle, my auntie, someone in the family passed down oral tradition of indigenous heritage. Everybody I meet with, guys, go ask a random Black American on the street, not a migrant, not a tether, a foundational Black American, a native Black American. Ask a random Black American on the street, did your family ever say anything about having Indians in the family? They'll say yes. It's that common.
On my birth certificate, it says colored. That's what they said. They call my dad's people mulatto. They were born in South Carolina. Why didn't they call them Black or African? But they did later on. They were changing the census records. They had the power to do that. But I have the records where they were called mulatto. So I want to know these people who are upset because somebody is saying that Africans were here first. Africans were everywhere first. That's just a fact. Even Europeans admit that. Everything comes out. I mean, the educated Europeans. I'm not talking about,
And see, this is where we can agree to disagree. Even though she's a respectable elder, she's preaching our indigenous roots, she's still looking at it from a Pan-African lens. Oftentimes, the elders in our community just can't rid themselves of that Pan-Africanism that's been ingrained in them. So you see how they'll still try to say, well, yeah, we're indigenous, but, at some point in time, we came from Africa. The true Aboriginal people of the Americas was Black, but they migrated here from Africa. I don't subscribe to that, respectfully. I don't believe that every continent on the earth was occupied except for the Americas until some Africans came over, and then some Asians came across the Bering Strait, and then some Europeans came over. I mean, no, I don't subscribe to that. But again, we got to, take what's useful, discard what's not. Clearly we can disagree with her on the whole linking it to Africa, but we can agree with her other sentiments. We can still take in the history that she's telling us.
The ones with their own personal agenda. All humans came out of Africa. So who do you think?
Mike TV does not endorse that notion.
If the Africans weren't the first one there, who were the first ones there?
Did Africans travel to the Americas long before Europeans? Yes. We traded with them. We circumnavigated the globe. They circumnavigated the globe. We went over there. They came over here. But to say that they are the original people who, no.
Because they only named 3 races: European, Asians, and Africans. So you have to come from one of those or a mixture of all of them.
Now she's claiming that there's only 3 races in the world: European, African, or Asian. That could be true on the Eastern Hemisphere. What about the Western Hemisphere? I understand on the Eastern Hemisphere, you could say you got Europeans, you got Asians, you got Africans, but when we talk about the Western Hemisphere, come on, Auntie, come on. We love you, though. We understand. It's not your fault.
So it makes no sense, the argument that folks are putting up about a phenotype. What is the phenotype that came in over or the race or the ethnic group that came in over the Iberian Peninsula. Who were they? Probably Asiatic, the Asians. You know, they weren't Europeans. And so when you look at the southern borders of the Americas, they were open. There wasn't nobody stopping anybody from coming. And the route that my ancestors took, or they're claiming that they took, not my ancestors, but the historians, would have been the same route that the Aborigines in Australia took. You know, the Aborigines are not light-skinned natives, right? They are native to Australia. They were the first people on Australia over 50,000 to 80,000 years ago.
But are you trying to claim that the Aborigine Australians who are dark skinned, are you claiming they migrated from Africa as well? Or are you claiming that they were originally on the island of Australia, but when it comes to American Indians, well, we have to descend from African migrants? I mean, guys, these are just questions I have. These are just questions.
And I'm thinking that that's the route my ancestors took. They went through Melanesia, through Asia.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay. So it looks like we're gonna go down a little bit of a Pan-African rabbit hole. You know, shout out to the information she gave early on about the reclassification and the mulatto and the Negro and the Carolinas and stuff. But Lord, oh, she's just theorizing, just daydreaming about maybe her indigenous American ancestors migrated from Africa through Australia and Polynesia to South America. I mean, hey, to each their own. To each their own. We here for the meat, okay? We here for the meat. We gonna spit out the bones. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. But you know what? I got another elder that I wanted to queue up. Hold on a minute. This one was real feisty. I think this elder was talking about her indigenous roots online, and some people were trying to, you know, some pangoofies was trying to get at her foul. Elder had to stand on business.
Well, I'm not going to waste any more energy. I did block that guy, and then I had somebody else on Instagram coming to my DM.
And shout out to Vibes. Vibes says, gathering more information before I get my consultation. I had roll numbers and their blood quantum and land allotments. Nice, nice. Well, I look forward to connecting with you whenever the time is right. Kudos to you for doing that digging ahead of time.
Asking me what did I mean by black people were, African Americans. That classification was made in 1988. For those that don't know, Messy Jesse Jackson in 1988 coined all of us African American, and he has Cherokee ancestry. Okay, Jesse Jackson has Cherokee ancestry. Hey, beautiful sister.
Come on, you can't run from the truth. Even the person who spearheaded the African relabeling of our community has American Indian heritage.
So, okay, I've been arguing with folks all day that's been coming on my posts, being disrespectful to my heritage, to my posts and my ancestry posts. Now, I'm posting all these Indians that's in my bloodline, right? And for someone to come on my post and tell me that all the Indians came from Africa is killing off my grandma. That's what we call a grandma killer. Okay.
Oh, and that's what the last elder was kind of trying to do at the end. Yeah, we're Indians, but the Indians came from Africa. No, 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 no. And shout out to this elder for standing on lineage. She said that is a grandma killer, y'all. That is a grandma killer. I've never heard somebody put it in that kind of. And come on, she ain't lying. That's a grandma killer.
My grandma, when Roots came out in the 70s, I was a young kid. I asked her, I said, Grandma, what tribe in Africa we come from? You know what my grandma said? She said, we not African. She said, my people are from Virginia and we're Indian.
So I'm just asking, guys, do you believe your grandma or do you believe the European in school that was funded by the Jewish central banking industrial complex military industrial cabal to make us good wage slaves? I mean, who do you really think had your best interests at heart? What does the system have to gain by convincing us we're African? And what do our ancestors have to gain by saying we're indigenous? I can think of a whole bunch of reasons the system would have to try to separate us from our ties to this land. I can think of so many reasons, but I can't think of anything that our ancestors gained by telling us that we're Indians if that's not true. If it's true, I can see why they would pass down that oral tradition. They're keeping it alive. That's what they have to gain, keeping the legacy alive. But I can't think of any financial motivation. I can't think of any social advantage. I don't think of any other vested interest our grandparents would have in telling us this other than it being the truth. If your grandma told you that you got French in your family or you got German in your family, I don't think she would say that just because she wanted to cosplay as a mixed German or so. I think she would say that because it's true. So, in that same vein, when we hear that we have indigenous roots from our ancestors, why do we take that with a grain of salt?
Told me that we were Cherokee, but I'm finding out that she was also Pamunkey and Mattapony, okay, under the Powhatan chiefdom. My daddy's side, okay, my daddy's side is West Indian from Barbados, Arawak Bayesian, okay. His mother is mixed with Irish and Seminole and Timucuan, and also have some Lakota Sioux, okay. I'm so deep into my genealogy that I know exactly.
And the average Native Black American is so deep in their genealogy. Meanwhile, these Pan Africans can't tell us, what are they, Yoruba? Are they Igbo? Are they Bantu? Are they can't tell us a damn thing about their imaginary African heritage, but we can trace our heritage all the way back to the 1700s, huh?
Exactly who I am. And no one can tell me that's the government, white people, black people, or other Indians ain't gonna fucking tell me who the fuck I am and where my people descended from. I don't believe in the out of Africa theory. Okay, it's been debunked. So you trying to tell me they brought 20 million motherfucking Africans here on fucking sailboats? They were sailboats back then in the Atlantic Ocean. Do y'all know how treacherous the Atlantic Ocean is with hurricanes and shit? Yeah, they brought some Africans over here, 350,000, okay? But all of us that's here in America are not African, okay? A lot of us descended from here. So I would implore you to do your own family genealogy and stop making broad statements and calling everybody and lumping us all up, because I'm going to tell you, the worst fucking colorists and racists I've encountered were black people. Yeah. And they'll be the first ones to say, oh, well, I heard we had Indian in our family. Well, where did the Indian go? Where? Just disappeared? You killed them off like...
Guys, can we put 2 and 2 together, please? I really don't understand this. I was listening to The Breakfast Club. I mean, I wasn't actually listening to it. It was like a clip on YouTube from The Breakfast Club. And DJ Envy was like, yeah, my great-great-grandfather was Indian. What? You'll hear Black Americans say, yeah, my great-great-great-grandma, she was Indian. Huh? That means you're Indian. You descend from them. If they are Indian, you are Indian. Of course, you may not be as pure Indian as them. You may have other admixture, right? But why do some members of our community still not realize 1 + 1 = 2? Oh, yeah, I heard there's Indians in the family. Grandma was Indian. Yeah, they said she was Choctaw. Oh, yeah, uncle was part Indian. No, you're Indian. Come on. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it.
Be the first ones to say, oh, well, I heard we had Indian in our family. Well, where did the Indian go? Where? Just disappeared? You killed them off like Walter Plecker did? Now, I suggest you not only check your own family history tree, but also research Walter Plecker and the 1924 Racial Integrity Act and how they fucking changed a lot of Indians to mulatto. Yes, I've seen stuff change from Indian to mulatto to motherfucking colored, black, and then African American. How was my grandmother 4 different races in her lifetime? She was born in 1914, right? Born an Indian, classified. I know you do, sister. I can look at you and look at them beautiful locks you have, okay? People don't understand locks are an Indian trait. Yes. Yes, it is. It's an Indian trait. Okay. West Indian and North American Indian, right? So I will implore you to do your own research and stop have people labeling you. Because how did my grandmother was born an Indian on the census? What was it? Okay, she was born in 1914, 1920 census. I could pull up right now. They classified her as mulatto. Then later on, every 20 years, they change our race, right? So it,
Guys, I see this with my genealogy clients all the time. I'll show them where in 1870, one of their ancestors is classified as a mulatto. Then 1880, they become a Negro. Then 1890, they go mulatto again. Then 1900, they become black. Then down the line, their descendants are reclassified to African American eventually. And you got to ask yourself, if they're not hiding anything, why can we find one ancestor reclassified as 4 different ethnicities within their lifetime? I've been reclassified as 2, I guess. You know, I was born African American, and it wasn't until I did my family's genealogy, I applied for tribal citizenship and was granted it, that now I magically became an American Indian, right? But guys, these are things that just make you go, And as always, if any of you guys need personalized assistance with genealogy research, make sure to check out the website, nativeblackancestry.com. I'm here to help.
Glad that, you know what I'm saying, I even, you know what I mean, experienced this. I'm glad I experienced you from, you know what I mean, enlighten me from the internet to, you know what I mean, online, getting one-on-one in depth, giving me a lot of information that I can take back to my people as well. And hopefully we could both get everything meshing with everything with the lineage and everything with the genealogy. This is no scam. This is all real. This is a real homeboy that put it down. He mean what he say. He got receipts and he put it down. He stands on business. Straight up. One love.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Real people, real results. Make sure to check out nativeblackancestry.com.
takes critical thinking. And I'm getting encountered by people that's like 40 years old or older. Okay? 40 years old or older, and nobody never. Now, this brother told me that his great grandmother was full Cherokee, but then got on 2 of my posts and said, "Yeah, we're all African. All the American Indians are African," because it was all one big. I don't believe in Pangea, okay, or the out of Africa theory. None of my grandparents came from that continent. You know, Africa is not a country. It's a continent. I can tell you what states, counties that my ancestors came from. I can even tell you about the European ones. Yeah, all Indians and Europeans. Not one African on my tree. You got to know your history so you don't repeat it, right? This is why, you know, the census we did in 2020, my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will see it, because we won't see it until, you know, they won't make it public for 80 years. right? They won't make it public for 80 years. But see, this is why I'm doing all this research and I'm writing a book. So my children, my children's children, and my children's children will know who they are, who they descended from, what tribes, and will have all the proof and the paperwork because I have all the records. Now, for someone to get on my post, my genealogy post, and disrespect my heritage like that, that's an act of war.
Talk about it. That is an act of war that is not to be taken lightly. And you see why I go so hard in the paint when we got all these goofy folks trying to speak on our ancestry. That is the most disrespectful thing you can ever do to a person. And they feel entitled to do it to us because the colonizers have done it to us for oh so long already. Let's talk about it. But guys, I still want to listen to what the elders have to say, but let's switch from some feminine energy to some masculine energy. Okay, we got an 85-year-old elder right here. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see if he says he's African.
Y'all doing, man? I'm here with a powerful brother. What's your name again, sir?
Lionel Van Dyne.
Lionel Van Dam. I see you got on a veteran hat, man. You got on the veteran hat. What's that? What branch you been in?
The Army.
Okay, the Army. But I didn't come
in Korea at the age of 17.
Okay. And you are how old today?
85.
You are 85. Something that was very interesting that you said to me when the last time I was here to see my grandmother, and we talked a little bit about the Native American Indians. And when you told me you was a Native American, it really, hold up, say that again.
Cherokee Indian.
Cherokee Indian.
Cherokee Indian. There you go.
When did you learn you was a Cherokee Indian?
My mother. With my mother at 3 years old.
Oh, so when you was 3 years old, your mother let you know?
Yes.
Have you ever been to some of the powwows that's out there?
Yes, I have.
What can you tell us about it?
Powwows, reunion of all the tribes, all the Cherokee Nation. We stick together like glue. We feed the nation of our people, and we take care of our people, and we never give up. I'll die an Indian, and that's it. I don't care what my complexion is. It doesn't matter. My kids are Indian, and I'm Indian.
So are you telling me, sir, that you are not African? You don't have no African blood or nothing?
I don't have no I don't know what my daddy was. He raped my mother, I guess. He stole a piece from her because she was pretty. Oh, incidentally, my mother was very fair, almost white, blue veins, red hair. But she still was a Cherokee Indian. She had no white in her at all. She's part of the nation. She's dead. She lived to be 89. Grandmother lived to be 90. Grandfather lived to be 110. I'm 85 and I'm going to try and beat my grandfather and go 112 if I can.
Beautiful. You're going to definitely make it. What can you tell me about the relationship between the Cherokee Indians and the African people?
Hi. Thank you, darling. Between the African, we have no.
Empress says, "Who's the interviewer? I don't like him." Well, I'm not surprised that you don't like him. He's actually this weird Pan-African dude named Sinetter. He runs some East Coast channel called the House of Consciousness or something. And he's actually been behind a lot of these sexual predators and a lot of these scammers that have come out of the Pan-African community. When you hear about people like Brother Polite or people like Nature Boy, both people incarcerated right now for sex crimes, right? These Pan-African scammers were kind of introduced to the community by way of this host, Sinetter. And the only reason why I'm playing one of his videos is because he happens to be talking to an elder. and this elder speaking about his indigenous roots. But yes, the host is a pan goofy motherfucker. Yes.
Qualms, I'll tell you this, and I like you young people to understand it. The Africans will always be the Africans. They've got their own country. They was born in Africa. Africa is their country. You're a Negro, what the white man gave you that name, and that's what you are. The Africans have nothing to do with the Negroes in the United States. They walk away in a minute and say, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm whatever, and I'm African, and I'm black, and I've got my own country. So that's it. I do not deny my relationship. I'll be an Indian until I die.
So when you write in on your resume, or when they say, what is your nationality, what do you say?
Cherokee Indian. I've lost some good jobs. I went to, I'll tell you a secret. I went to apply for a porter job that's sweeping the streets of Rockefeller Center, which everybody knows Rockefeller Center has got all kind of little things on the sidewalk. I was going there to sweep the street to get a job. My name is Van Dyne. The reason why my name is Van Dyne, because my grandfather worked for the Dutch.
Interesting history there. And yeah, the host is getting on my nerves too, y'all. The host is getting on my nerves with the weird line of questioning, right? Come on. As soon as they come across the elder proclaiming his Aboriginal roots, it becomes like this whole monkey in a zoo type thing, right? Like, oh, really? Let's keep it going, y'all. Let's keep it going.
I know one thing, I never heard that my people were slaves. Mama knew what she was talking about, but I always thought that she wanted to be something that we wasn't. And I remember I used to say, Mama, we black. She said, I don't care how black. She said, you're an Indian. I will never forget that. I was about 7 years old. Like I said, I've been thinking like a native all my life, but I didn't never want to expose it because I was in the South. Then I said, well, maybe if I go to New York, I can more expand myself. Not knowing that I was going to meet other Indians that more so look like me.
You hear that? The elder said he was in the South and he felt like he couldn't really talk about it, right? He's in the South and it's not really a safe environment for him to proclaim his Aboriginal roots, for him to portray his indigeneity. So he felt more safe doing that in New York. And he thought that he would be one of one. And it turned out he ran into a whole bunch of other Black Indians in New York, huh?
I arrived here in 1960, about 1961. I just had got out of high school. I became another person after I got here. I ain't saying I'm not black, but I'm not an African, you know? I'm a Native American from this country.
Damn, you can't be more plain than that. I'm not saying I'm not black. I'm saying I'm not an African. That's right. That's right. Ding, 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 ding.
Me, I dress cultural every day. You know, I wear my band every day. I put on my native clothes, and that's just me. This is another one idea I got from the Navajo people. I got this out there from the Navajo people. Some of the thing, I'm gonna be frank, I ain't say it come from me. This right here came from me, but the black color with the blue, I got this idea from the Navajo. You know, I made this myself, and I just love this shirt. Everything I basically got, the spirit give it to me. You know, and that's a good thing about me. You know, I go by the spirit, and the funny thing about it, I don't be asking for it. You know, like people go, so I'm going to spirit, I'm gonna ask for a name. I'm going to name ceremony. I'm gonna ask for a name. Everything I ever got, I never went to nobody for it. The spirit already gave it to me.
I've experienced that as well. I'll be speaking to white folks and they learn that I'm an American Indian. And next thing you know, this old white lady goes to the car, comes back, and she's like, "Hey, I was at a powwow and someone gave me this dream catcher and I just want you to have it." "Oh, wow, you're an American Indian. Well, you know what? I have this little artifact. I just want you to have it." Hey guys, something weird about it is something a little metaphysical about it, but yes, you will be gifted things, believe it or not.
It's the spirit that live in you determine who you are. No matter what people think or what people say about you or how you look, because I know who I am. And can't nobody tell me who I am. I know who I am. I didn't go and join no tribe and like a lot of people do. Why should I join them? You know, I don't need to join nobody to give me no rules what I should do.
My name is Frances Tuck, and I contacted Mike from Mike TV on YouTube because I wanted to find out about my family's Native American history that I believed existed. Through the research that I was able to do through Mike TV, I was able to find out that our name is indeed on the registry. I had a consultation with Mike today, and because of his advice and the research that he has done, I am now confident that I'm able to find my family's roots in the Native American History database. Thank you, Mike.
And if anybody wants to find this elder on social media, I believe he's an artist. He's a sculptor. I think he even writes books. His name is Eagle Eye. So just look up online, Eagle Eye.
People don't know natives come looking different ways. And it took me a long time to realize that. This is where the Native Americans of color is right here on this side of the town. What's that?
What nation are you from?
I'm Cherokee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, from Georgia.
I'm one of my nations. I'm Lenape, but the other three grandparents, I don't know what nation they were from.
Oh, yeah, Lenape. Yeah, I think I knew you from here, from the last powwow.
Yeah.
I was here, but I didn't have on my regalia.
I got to see this brother up close. He is pretty sharp.
Oh, yeah, thank you, yeah. I'm the real deal.
Yes, you are. Aren't we?
Yes, right. Your name is what?
Tracy.
Say, okay, I'm Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye.
Yeah, so when you see, just say Eagle Eye.
All right, then.
All right.
Yeah, Vibes, I definitely agree. That's why I launched the new channel, Native Black American Network. On that channel, I'm going to have more like panel members and weekly guests and things of that nature. So if you want to help out, shoot me an email, Mike at nativebblackancestry.com. And, if you come across any content creators who you think would be great to have on the channel to interview, share some knowledge, then that's what that Native Black American Network channel is all about.
Thank you. Yeah. My whole name is Eagle Eye, Backlog, Black, Brown, Red, White, and Yellow Buffalo. That's my whole name. Right now, if I'd have still been in the South, you don't see natives in the South, my complexion, saying they native. Because they're still in the South and they ain't been exposed to the natives here with the dark complexion on the reservation still today. That's what, good God, Mama was telling the truth.
Creator, bless this wonderful gathering.
It makes me feel good to know I'm doing a part of something is me. It's a part of me, period. He went the wrong way. You all right? I'm supposed to went the other way. You're supposed to go the other way.
Hey, leave it to the Black Indians to, get everybody else on track. Like, wait, right away, you're going the wrong way now. You're going the wrong way. Come on.
Every day I walk out the house, I am who I am. If what's in your spirit and what's in your heart, they make you who you are.
American Indians and Alaska Natives are the only racial group in the U.S. required to prove their ethnic origins. Guys, we can claim to be African. No one bats an eye. No one says, what African language do you speak? No one says, what African country do you come from? No one says, what's the name of your African ancestor? What's the name of your African tribe? But as soon as we claim to be American Indians, wait a minute. Gotta have some paperwork and some documents and some citizenship and some government recognition. I mean, all right. Damn, that's crazy. I don't see any Pan-Africans standing outside of the powwow saying, hey, Black folks, you're not really Native. You're not really Choctaw. You're not really Cherokee. You're African. Oh, wait, they only do that shit online, huh? They don't pull up to the res. They don't pull up to the powwow. They don't pull up to the function. They keep that shit in the chat room. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere. As soon as this broadcast ends, it's going to redirect you into the next broadcast. I will be having some live callers on the next show and whatnot, so make sure not to go anywhere. Let me see what you guys are talking about, though. Amanda. Oh, shout out to Amanda. Just met with you, was it yesterday? All my days are a blur. I think it might have been yesterday or the day before, but shout out to Amanda. Amanda says, I remember going to powwows growing up. And just like he said, I never saw any people that look like us. This is amazing. I feel it. A lot of white folks at the powwows, though, right? But all right, guys, don't touch that dial. We will be live in just a moment. When this stream ends, it's going to redirect you into the next one. I'll see you in just a second.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.